Coming up right now in Marlborough this week, Tuesday's election has come and gone. We have exclusive interviews with all of the winning candidates. An invalid absentee ballot application that was submitted ahead of Tuesday's election is now being investigated. Plus, the Department of Public Works wants to help you collect your storm debris. And coming up later in this half hour, the city's Heat and Eat fundraising program is coming up this month. Those stories and more are coming up right now on Marlborough This Week. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin with this week's city election. Election day began early for voters and candidates on Tuesday as the polls opened up at 7 a.m. Candidates braved the cold morning and greeted voters at the polls before they voiced their choice. Fast forward to Tuesday night, the polls closed at 8 p.m. and soon after, results were in.
We had 20,417 number of registered voters, of which 6,002 folks voted in this biennial municipal election. That comprises 29.4%. Little disappointed. I wanted to surpass the high water mark of 33% several years ago, back in '07.
In the race for mayor, Arthur Vigent defeated Matthew Jones by 42 votes. We spoke with Vigent on Thursday to get his reaction.
Obviously, it was a tight race. We're real excited about the results and looking forward to the next 2 years.
Vigent is looking forward to continue serving residents as mayor come January.
Now I get to set the tone and move things forward. I'm looking forward to moving the senior center forward and projects like the old landfill and getting that going, the HP lot, and getting a nice development of first-class office space down there for some new jobs for the community and some new tax revenue. So it's a really exciting time and looking forward to it.
Local voters re-elected councilors at large Michael Ossing and Patricia Pope, while casting out Ward 2 City Councilor Paul Farrow. Ossing received 3,164 votes.
Very humbling experience, knowing that the people still want you to represent them in City Hall. I'm hoping that the work I do, I kind of stay out of the limelight, do the homework, and then put the city in a good financial position. So hopefully that'll continue for the next 2 years, that we get Marlborough one of the best cities financially in the state, to then enable us to make decisions on what we want to do for whether it's a senior housing project, library, roads, capital projects, pay for the water treatment plants. If you got your money in order, then you can make those decisions a lot easier.
Pope received 2,751 votes.
I came in a good, strong second, which was good. I was very happy. It was nice that both of the incumbents with 2 open seats were re-elected and 2 fresh new faces on the council. It's going to be pretty exciting.
16-year school committee member Kathleen Roby came in third in the councilor at-large race with 2,634 votes.
I will definitely miss being on the school committee. There's a lot going on in the school system now, so not having a voice. The only thing that the city council does is approve the budget of the school committee, but that's an important piece. They certainly need funding to be able to continue the work that Dr. Pope has started, and I certainly look forward to having that opportunity to look at the budget going forward.
Mark Orm landed in fourth as councilor at large with 2,398 votes.
Very happy with the results from Tuesday. It was nice to get into the city council. As most of the voters know, I did run 2 years ago and came in 5th, so it's nice to come in 4th and be part of the city council, and I look forward to serving as their councilor at large. I find it's a privilege, and I'm honored now to be part of the city council.
In the ward races, Richard Jenkins defeated incumbent Paul Farrow.
Paul did a great job for the past 8 years, and I thank him for his service. I bring different kinds of skill sets to the position. I served in the town of Greenfield at the time, it's now a city, as a town councilor before. I've served on the finance committee before, so I've dealt with large budgets, capital expenses, bonding, these kinds of things. So I have some experience with that.
In the Ward 3 race, Matthew Elder defeated George Stein 497 votes to 379.
I thought all along I would be very successful. I always had a great response from my constituents throughout the past 2 years, and when I was going back door to door, I made sure that I was never the counselor that nobody knew. You know, you always hear people say, oh, you're only here during election time. Where were you the past couple of years? You know, throughout the past years, I dropped thousands of letters of information to the constituents, constantly returned phone calls, visited houses. So I think the 2 years of hard work definitely paid off.
Don Landers won back his Ward 7 seat, defeating Todd Boschman 512 votes to 305.
I really wanted to be part of this. I just see so much happening, you know, in 2012. You know, I've been involved with the chamber, I've been involved with the economic development piece, I was involved with 2010, and I think this is the year that this might all come together.
Ward 1 City Councilor Joseph Delano, Ward 4 City Councilor Robert Chinara, Ward 5 City Councilor Robert Seymour, and Ward 6 City Councilor Edward Clancy all maintained their seats in uncontested elections. To continue with the election, police stated on Wednesday they are investigating an invalid absentee ballot application that was submitted ahead of Tuesday's election. Here are the details. The police department was notified Friday that there was a question regarding the validity of an absentee ballot application that had been submitted to City Hall. Police are investigating but wouldn't say who they're focused on or whether the subject was a candidate in the election. City Clerk Lisa Thomas did state to us that there is an investigation going on but couldn't disclose any more information. She did, however, explain absentee ballot procedures and the penalties if someone were to violate them.
We actually have two absentee ballot applications, the state does. The first one is for the person that would like to vote absentee, himself or herself. They would simply fill this out and sign it.
A family member can fill out the second application, but it's extremely restricted.
A family member must be a spouse or person residing in the same household, in-laws, father, mother, sister, or brother, or of the whole or half-blood, son, daughter, adopting parent or adopted child, step-parent or stepchild, uncle, aunt, niece, nephew, grandparent, or grandchild, again, residing in the same household.
Once the absentee ballot application is filled out appropriately, the next steps are taken.
We take in these applications, and the very first thing we do is we date stamp them. So this is our evidence as to when we received it, because naturally there is a deadline for taking in absentee ballot applications.
Secondly, staff will go to the voter registry system and validate the person requesting the absentee application.
If they are a registered voter, then according to the address listed on the completed applications, we would simply send the absentee ballot to said voter.
Once they are received, they are marked in the system as received, and then come election day, the ballots are hand-delivered with the application.
The applications serve as the corresponding evidence for the ballots that are going to the polls. Under no circumstances, absolutely no circumstances, can one take their completed ballot by which they voted absentee and go to the polling location and drop it off. It would not be accepted by anyone other than someone from my office.
If this process happens to be violated by an individual, there are consequences.
It clearly reads on both the applications, warning, illegal absentee voting, including making a false application, is punishable by a fine of up to $10,000 and up to 5 years in prison.
During this year's election, the number of absentee ballots that were tested was 396. 335 of those were processed due to several reasons.
Oftentimes, one can request an absentee ballot application. They fill it out, they send it back to us. We send to them the absentee ballot. We don't get it back. They can decide that they may want to go to the polls.
Other reasons can be that the voter sent the ballot back without completing the necessary steps to ensure a valid ballot.
By and large, we processed quite a number of absentee ballots pertinent to the applications that were originally received.
The other big story of the week was, of course, the snowstorm that hit the area last weekend. Power outages, downed wires, and tree limbs have caused quite the headache for our city residents and employees. The Department of Public Works begins to prepare for the city's snow season in September. So luckily, even though the severity of the storm was a surprise, for this time of year, Marlborough was ready.
Obviously, you never expect to get a snowstorm in October. But I have to say, anyone who drove around the community on Sunday after our snow removal efforts was probably quite pleased with the results.
Although cleanup did go smooth, downed wires proved to be a problem.
We really didn't have major breakdowns of any of the equipment. The only streets that we were not able to plow were really the victims of wires down in the roadway and our trees for that matter. But generally speaking, we had a great response to the snow removal.
Lafreniere announced this week that effective Monday, November 7th, the Department of Public Works will begin curbside collection of tree and brush debris from private property associated with last weekend's snowstorm event.
Unlike the Hurricane Irene, we required all residents during that storm event to take their debris to the Hudson Street landfill. Well, this particular event was a cut above that storm, and we have decided to assist residents, single, two-family, and three-family residents with their debris removal efforts. And as long as the residents are able to bring their debris to the edge of the roadway, we plan on picking that up.
Wood, limbs, and brush must be cut in lengths no greater than 6 feet in length and placed in piles that can be easily picked up from lawn areas and transferred to the vehicles that will transport the debris.
We're planning to do that over a 4-week period, and beginning on Monday, our plan is to start in certain areas in the community and work our way through the entire community over that ensuing 2-week period, and then to return beginning on November 21st and start all over again and actually cover the entire community twice.
Debris materials should be placed at a minimum of 3 feet from any hydrant or telephone pole.
Folks over the next 2 weeks, if they get their debris out, should see it picked up within that 2-week time frame. But then if additional materials have to go out after that, they'll have a second opportunity. So for about the next month or so, we're going to be picking that up curbside.
Beginning the 21st, the department will conduct its final sweep of the community for these materials, and once areas have been picked up after the 21st, no additional debris will be collected.
Residents can also bring their debris to the Hudson Street landfill, much as they did during the hurricane event. And we're planning to be open Monday through Friday at the Hudson Street landfill. Folks can bring materials there from 9 a.m. in the morning to 3 p.m. in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. And we're also going to be open for the next 4 Saturdays from 8 a.m. in the morning to noontime.
Questions concerning either the curbside collection or landfill disposal of storm debris may be directed to Marcia Josephson at 508-624-6910, extension 7200. Marlborough Hospital announced this week that they have chosen Karen Moore, a hospital chief executive officer in Springfield and a former nurse, as its newest president and CEO. Moore stated that she's excited at the chance to oversee the hospital's new cancer pavilion. Moore replaces interim president Douglas Brown, who took over for departing president John Polanowitz in May. Still to come as we continue with Marlborough this week, the Scouting for Food campaign will come to a close this Saturday. But first, an innovation summit took place last week. That story's next. Please stay with us.
80% of U.S. fire deaths occur in the home. Hi, I'm firefighter Mark Asenko, here with some fire safety tips for you. Stay in the kitchen when you are frying, grilling, or broiling food. Talking on the phone, watching TV, using the computer are all distractions that can lead to home fires. Avoid wearing loose-fitting clothing when you are cooking. Pay attention when using the microwave. The simplest things such as cooking popcorn could cause a fire. Keep kids and pets away from the stove while you are cooking. Some of these tips may seem obvious, but they do save lives. So remember, be smart, be aware, be fire safe.
A press conference took place this week to announce the city's Heat and Eat fundraising initiative. The program is designed to raise essential funds to assist Marlborough residents who are unable or having difficulty paying their heating bills. I'm pleased to be here this afternoon with Lynn Faust, our Director of Human Services, to announce the 2011 Heat and Eat program here in the city of Marlborough. As you'll remember, in 2008, we kicked off this campaign, and it really was a great success. The program is really aimed to making sure that our residents have fuel and they have food. And we want to make sure that nobody goes cold or hungry over the winter months. Obviously, the weather's been bad the last couple of days, and we can all, it's brought it to the forefront how it's really hard for our residents to really make sure that they have it. And they're making choices that are really sad between medication and food and fuel. Lynn, talk a little bit about some of the programs that have been cut and the need here in the city.
Well, this has been a historically high time for unemployment in the city. People are having terrible time applying for fuel assistance, for SNAP. I've had a number of people that have had difficulty with even their health care, their mass health, and they're making choices between medicine and food and fuel, and it's just a really tough time for families.
We were really successful in 2008 with this program. It was a great program, and the way we get it started off, it's not the main part of the fundraising, but we do toll roads, and we will be doing toll roads on consecutive Mondays, on Monday, November 21st, and November 14th, and Monday, November 21st, from 7 to 9 at the intersections of Route 20 and Granger Boulevard and Route 85 and Main Street. But if people want to send money, they can donations other than the toll road, please make checks out to the Heat and Eat program, City of Marlborough, and mail them here to my office at City Hall at 140 Main Street. It's really important. One of the things that I've been so proud to talk about when we talk about the City of Marlborough is people coming together when there's such a need. And I'm so excited that we had such a successful program before. And now, in 2008, the economy was bad, but we have so many people that are out of work and really struggling. And there shouldn't be anybody in the City of Marlborough that goes hungry or cold this winter. So please join us in our 2011 Heat and Eat program for the City of Marlborough, and let's make a difference for our neighbors. Thank you. The annual Scouting for Food campaign took place this week. Scout troops dropped off Scouting for Food bags to homes around the city last weekend in hopes of thousands of donations for our local food pantry. Pickup will be this Saturday, November 5th. Here's Troop Committee Leader Jim Watson with more details.
We try to get to every residential area in town. The fact there's only so many Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, Brownies and Girl Scouts, we do get to as many houses as possible. We ask, just whatever you can, be it 1 can, 2 cans, whatever you can spare is greatly appreciated.
The Scouts and event leaders are asking you to please leave your donations outside your home early for easy pickup.
Historically, Scouting for Food is usually the single largest donation that the food pantry receives. And it's heavily relied on, particularly this time of the year. It's November, we're going into the holidays, and after coming through the summer, there are usually a lot of bare shelves, and this is a really great way to get them stocked up to hopefully get them through the better part of the winter.
As mentioned, all food donations will benefit the Marlborough Food Pantry, which has seen a 16% increase in need.
These certainly have been challenging times for our food pantry. Our numbers are up. I think that we are experiencing in our small little pantry what the economy is experiencing in our state and in our country in general. So this is always a good test for what's happening elsewhere.
Suggested items include canned vegetables, dry goods, canned spaghetti sauces, juice boxes, coffee, tea, and diapers, baby food, and toiletries. This year, the Scouts' goal is 11 tons. Last year, they collected 10 tons. This is the 24th year of the annual campaign. Coming up next, we'll have your Pet of the Week. Don't move, we'll be right back.
Every 2 seconds, someone in America needs blood. Nearly 5 million Americans will need a life-saving blood transfusion this year alone.
Every blood donation can save up to 3 lives. While many people know about the chronic shortage in the blood supply across the country, very few people are doing anything about it.
We need your help. Giving blood is easy. It only takes about an hour of your time.
Be a hero. Be a blood donor. help us save a life.
Today we have Amos, and Amos came here all the way from North Carolina. He's a 6-year-old neutered male lab mix, and he's very, very sweet. He was living in a foster home with tons of other dogs. He gets along good with dogs. He's wonderful with people. He's a little shy, and he could probably use some work on his leash skills because he can be very strong on a leash. Once he gets over his initial shyness, he's pretty active. So if you'd like to know more about Amos, please feel free to call us at Buddy Dog. The number is 978-443-6990.
Before we go, don't forget that you can find all the information you need on our Facebook page. Just search WMCT-TV and become a fan. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Coming up right now on Marlborough This Week, the city celebrated Veterans Day with a parade and memorable speeches on Friday morning. Big changes are proposed for local congressional districts, plus
I'm very concerned that we're going to have a lot of people without heat and without food.
The city's Heat Heat program is about to hit the Main Street area this Monday morning. And later in this half hour, one local high school wants to help you prepare for your Thanksgiving holiday this season. Those stories and more are coming up right now on Marlborough This Week. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin with the city's Veterans Day Parade. The City of Marlborough's traditional Veterans Day Parade was held on Friday morning, which started at 10 a.m. Participants met at 9:30 a.m. at John and Maple Streets, and the parade then proceeded onto Main Street. Stops were made at veterans' memorials along Main Street in honor of those who have served. The parade concluded at the World War I Memorial, also known as the Doughboy Monument, where several speeches were given.
We live in a great nation populated by great people such as yourselves. God bless America, God bless her people, and God bless our veterans.
I want to really thank the veterans organizations in this community and the veterans for their support of one another. I've never seen a group come together and be so supportive and be there for each other. From the barbecues, the home visits, taking your fellow veterans to appointments, you are an extraordinary group and one I'm proud to have in the city of Marlborough. So thank you for all that you do.
Because of our collective service, we continue to live in peace and enjoy the freedoms and independence. Please remember our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, as they return home to their families. Many are looking for work after having been away for several years and returning to jobs that no longer exist. Please thank a veteran, and if you have the ability, hire one.
To see the Veterans Day festivities in their entirety, visit our website at WMCT-TV.com or visit our Facebook page. City councilors on Monday night approved $150,000 to meet expenses that occurred during October's unexpected snowstorm. Discussions are also calling for a meeting with National Grid to discuss how to avoid widespread power failures. Ward 3 City Councilor Matt Elder drafted a letter which fellow councilors approved, asking National Grid to appear in front of the Committee on Operations and Oversight to discuss concerns. Locally, the DPW began collecting tree and brush debris between 2 and 6 feet in length at curbside this week. The department plans on making 2 sweeps through the city to pick up the debris over the next month. Those with proof of residency can also take debris to the city's former landfill at 402 Hudson Street from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. weekdays and from 8 a.m. to noon Saturdays through December 3rd. In addition, the DPW commissioner stated this week that the department received approval for a $105,000 recycling grant. Marlborough was one of the communities and regional groups that received a collective $1.4 million in recycling and waste reduction grants. State lawmakers unveiled a redistricting plan this week, which would make nearly every Metro West and Milford area community have a new representative in Washington. The proposed plans would put Marlborough under new representation. Marlborough could soon have a new representative in the United States Congress. A week after Governor Deval Patrick signed off on new state district lines, the Special Joint Committee on Redistricting released maps on Monday redrawing the state's congressional districts. Due to population shifts, the districts have shrunk from 10 to 9 districts. The proposed new district would have Marlborough join neighboring Hudson in the 5th Congressional District, currently represented by Nikki Tsongas. Tsongas has been in the House of Representatives since 2007, when she won office in a special election held after the retirement of Representative Marty Meehan. The full House and Senate must adopt the new districts before November 16th. A Houston real estate giant has bought the campus at Marlborough, a large industrial complex on the west side, for $103 million, with plans to build more offices there. The purchase includes 650,000 square feet of undeveloped land approved for development. The property is leased on a long-term basis to Hologic, Hewlett-Packard, Wellington Management, and several other tenants. The Marlborough Economic Development Corporation, a nonprofit organization that works to promote economic development and job growth in the city, just hosted an innovation summit that focused on life science companies. Here's more on this story.
We talked to a number of businesses that have employees that come from Maine, come from Rhode Island, Connecticut, and commute every day. They said, Marlborough was just central to all of that, so that's why we're here.
The Marlborough Economic Development Corporation, along with their sponsor, Mirko O'Connell, hosted the second annual Marlborough Innovation Summit last Friday, October 28th, at the Marlborough Holiday Inn.
Our focus this year was on life science businesses, which there are probably 40 or so businesses in Marlborough. They're in the life science industry. And what we wanted to do was bring them together for a number of reasons. One, to network was certainly one of the main purposes, so that they could meet their counterparts. Also to bring in people from Boston and Worcester to talk about what's happening statewide and nationally and so forth.
Individuals from over 52 companies and institutions participated in the summit.
The thing that comes across loud and clear, not only here today, but also in our visits to many of these businesses, its location. Marlborough has just an excellent location with 495, 290, and of course the Mass Pike being not that far away. That's number one. Number two, there's quality of life issues. People like the housing, they like the school system, they like the quality of life issues that are here. And also, I think the accessibility from the standpoint of employees, bringing talent into the community to work at these different businesses. It's so centrally located.
In addition, 12 Chinese life sciences students currently studying at the Massachusetts International Academy in Marlborough were invited to participate.
There are most bio or life sciences students, even some graduate students. This is just a small portion represent our whole student body. We have close to 300 students here since we founded 2 years ago. This is our school's 5th semester.
These students are preparing to enter leading Boston colleges and universities.
The students, they benefit from all different background teachers, and also we have UMass professors offer credit courses here as well. So students with higher level of English proficiencies, they can go to do credit courses directly and even in the first semester.
Keynote speaker Robert Coughlin, president and CEO of the Massachusetts Biotechnology Council, spoke about the state of biotech nationally, statewide, and locally. In addition, Merrick O'Connell presented its Innovation Award to a Marlborough-based life sciences company, Spectra Analysis.
I certainly believe that the biotech world is going to go far. Everyone's quality of life is impacted by it. Everyone needs improved medical care and is concerned about quality of life, and this is the tools to get there.
Last year, Raytheon and Bridge Energy Group received innovation awards. The event ended with a panel discussion on topics relevant to life science companies already operating in Marlborough.
That's our intent, is to try and grow this this cluster that we have here right now, and that'll be at all levels, not only trying to attract new businesses, but also trying to grow businesses, seeing if we can't get a life science incubator started here in the city, and also try to make the city more attractive to the young employees that are these companies seek.
To continue with business in the city, the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce will hold its annual luncheon this Wednesday, November 16th, and the most famous trophy in sports will be there. The event, which starts at 11:30 a.m., will feature the Stanley Cup. Bob Sweeney, former Boston Bruin and Director of Development of the Boston Bruins Foundation, will be the distinguished speaker. Stay tuned to next week's news for a full recap of this annual luncheon. Still to come as we continue with Marlborough this week, the United Way of Tri-County will help Marlborough continue its Holiday Helper program. But first, the city's Heat and Eat fundraising initiative will kick off this Monday. We have how you can help. That story's next. Please stay with us.
Come here.
I love you, Dad.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. An initiative to help those in the city who are having trouble paying their heating bills will take place starting this Monday, November 14th. The city's Heat and Eat program toll roads will start at 7 a.m. Here's Caitlin O'Brien with more on this story.
This is something we did a couple of years ago, that we came up with a program to help our residents with food assistance and fuel assistance in the winter.
With fuel assistance programs being cut at the federal level, local families are not receiving the funds they need to survive during the winter months.
This time of year is the time of year when people really feel the need for food and fuel money the most. People are making decisions every day about whether to buy fuel oil, whether to turn their thermostat up, or to eat and provide nutritious food for their family.
Back in 2008, the Heat and Eat program raised $5,000 for local families by conducting toll roads around the Main Street area.
I was surprised that, people were throwing 20s out. It was great. I mean, people that didn't know about it were grabbing, didn't have money, but were grabbing. We all have the change in cup in our car. We're just dumping that because they're like, I don't have any money. A lot of times in the morning you're heading to work, you go to the bank at lunchtime or something like that, and especially after a weekend, people don't really have a lot of money on Monday morning. So they were being very generous.
Even though the fundraising initiative has not been held for the past few years, money has been donated during this time.
We always get donations, and people throughout the year. We have churches that do it as part of their giving projects at the holidays and things like that. So we've gotten it, but decided to resurrect the toll road and the formal program this year. Even though we didn't have a formal program in the last couple of years, people still sent us money for the program. It still came in for food and fuel assistance. But we just thought that given the cuts in the fuel assistance program, that it was probably better to get the word out and really get a lot more donations this year.
Money from the Mayor's Charity Relief Fund help those make decisions on a daily basis that affect their families.
Families are more and more buying less and less of fresh fruits and vegetables. Those things are expensive now, and during the winter they get more and more expensive, and those are really the nutritious foods they need for themselves and for their children. And it's tough because they have to choose between staying warm and eating. It's literally something that most of the families in Marlborough have to think about a little bit with such a cold winter coming on.
Stevens remarked that when there is a need in the city, residents come together to help each other.
One of the things I've always been so proud about is this community comes together and helps each other. And I'm asking the community to come together once again and really help our neighbors. It's going to be a tough winter. We saw last week already with an October snowstorm, and the weather was so cold last week, and I'm just really concerned. Although the weather's better this week, it's still getting very cold at night, and it's early, and I'm concerned about a long, hard winter, and I just don't want anybody to be cold, and I don't want anybody to be hungry in this community.
This year, the toll roads will take place on Monday, November 14th and the 21st from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
I hope that this raises awareness. I hope that we get enough funds to really make sure that we don't turn anybody down this winter. I'm only going to be here till January, but I just know that coming in the next administration, they're going to need the funds because there's a great need out there, and I just want to make sure that we raise awareness and we have the funds to make sure that nobody, again, goes hungry or cold this winter.
For Marlborough This Week, I'm Caitlin O'Brien. This year's United Way of Tri-County Hope for the Holidays program will also support the city's Holiday Helper program, which was previously coordinated through the Human Services Department. The United Way's Hope for the Holidays program will sponsor children up to 18 years old that have an existing relationship with the social service providers in Marlborough. The extended deadline for parents to register for gifts is Friday, November 18th. For more information on supporting a child this year, please call Barbara at 508-370-4873. All donations will be used to support Marlborough children. Speaking of the holidays, for the 5th year in a row, the Thanksgiving holiday will be made just a little bit sweeter for those who choose to let the culinary arts students and staff at Assabet Valley High School do the baking for them. The doors to the Epicurean Room restaurant will open to the public at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, November 22nd, and will close when the goodies are gone, or 1 p.m., whichever comes first. So be sure to arrive early if you are interested. Coming up next, we have a glimpse into this week's Marlborough Rotary Club meeting, and we'll have your pet of the week. Don't move. We'll be right back.
Now, some action from the courts. Billie Jean King renewing her rivalry with Arthritis. First set, furious volley, and right to the net for a winner. Beautiful forehand there. Arthritis, stunned. And here, match point. Billie Jean with the ace, taking it in straight sets. Afterwards, a jubilant Billie Jean King.
Tennis is a weapon for me with arthritis. There's nothing like it for me to hit a ball, run to the ball, anytime, any court. I'm ready. Let's go.
What's your weapon against arthritis? Find out at fightarthritispain.org.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. Rotarians celebrated Veterans Day one day early at their weekly meeting on Thursday, in addition to welcoming the founder of Crutches for Africa. Here's more on this story.
We want to recognize the Rotarians that were in service in the past or in present. And we also have a representative from the Marines on Main Street in Marlborough to give him, really to let us know about what he has experienced since joining the Marines. When he was 18, he is now 26 years old.
The Marine spoke about his first time as a Marine up until now.
It really gives you an overall insight of the before, after, and the present.
Later in the meeting, their scheduled speaker for this week's meeting was introduced. David Talbot, founder of Crutches for Africa, spoke to Rotarians about the nonprofit organization and how people can get involved. Crutches for Africa collects crutches, wheelchairs, and other stabilization devices to help those in underdeveloped countries. The organization's founder started Crutches for Africa in 2005 because he too depends on crutches in his everyday life.
1955, I was 2.5 years old, and I contracted polio 2 weeks after they announced that they had discovered the vaccine. So it was a close thing for me. So, I recovered from that, and then for about 45 years, I was running and gunning just fine, didn't have any problems, skiing and bicycling across Europe, running with the bulls in Pamplona. Just did all of those physical challenges that, that helped me to prove that I was a worthwhile, that I wasn't handicapped.
Although David experienced many years of no pain or problems, post-polio syndrome has led him to need crutches. During a trip to Uganda, David came across a woman who needed help with mobility. After seeing how she was struggling, he kicked off this effort.
I saw a woman whose right leg, her right foot, was touching the back of her right shoulder. Was completely twisted around, the femur was twisted that way. And somebody had ripped off a fresh green tree branch, and that's what she was using for a crutch. And it was a pretty easy step for me to realize that we have this stuff in our garages, in our basements, in our sheds. We don't know what to do with this stuff once we're done with it. And so to recycle it in a good way, to give it a new function, the same function, in a different country where people are desperate for these items, because they're crawling around, literally crawling in the dirt.
The Crutches for Africa initiative takes unused mobility devices and brings them to those who need it most.
The plan is to reach out into the Rotary community in the developed world where this stuff is in excess, and not only through Rotary but through houses of faith, whether it's a church, a synagogue, or a mosque. These people help us collect the material. So when we come into, and also schools are also very valuable for us. The kids know where this stuff is in the garage, they can find it again.
David says the easiest way to bring items together is to have community collections.
We move that material into a central location where it's loaded into a container, it's shipped to the recipient country, and we work only with verified distributors in those countries, and generally it's Rotary.
Since 2006, 32,000 pieces of equipment have been given away in 13 countries in Africa and 6 countries outside of Africa. Currently, they are working on an initiative with Pakistan, and they need your help.
They have the opportunity, or giving us the opportunity, to fill a container for them. They'll pay for the container from the United States to Pakistan, which is, that's a very good step. A very positive step is to have the recipient country step in and to help us with that. We're looking for 300 wheelchairs right now. That's what will fill up a 40-foot container. And I want to get that done within the next couple of months.
If you would like to learn more on Crutches for Africa, please visit their website at crutchesforafrica.org.
Today we have Toby. Toby just got his name last week because he was a local stray. We really don't know too much about him. We do know that he would be best in an adult home because he is very protective of his food. He doesn't want anybody coming between him and his elbow. So other than that, he's fairly young, healthy, active, and for the right person, he'll definitely make a great pet. So if you want to know more about Toby or any of the other great pets we have here at Buddy Dog, please feel free to call us at 978-443-6990.
Before we go, don't forget that you can find all the information you need on our Facebook page. Just search WMCT-TV and become a fan. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Coming up right now in Marlborough This Week, the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce celebrated their annual luncheon this year with the Stanley Cup. Plus, this year, the United Way of Tri-Counties Hope for the Holidays program will also support the city's Holiday Helper program. And later in this half hour, we caught up with the girls' volleyball team who are currently gearing up for the state championship game this weekend. Those stories and more are coming up right now on Marlborough This Week. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin with this week's top story.
Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce Annual Luncheon is where we actually review this past year, but more importantly, we elect new directors to our board.
The Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce had a special guest at its annual luncheon on Wednesday, the Stanley Cup.
You can hear all the hubbub in back of us. It's just exciting, and people are really, looking forward to it. Taking pictures is a line.
Business leaders and local officials posed for pictures with the cup before the beginning of the meeting, which featured the luncheon's guest speaker, former Boston Bruins player Bob Sweeney.
People have an opportunity to network, people have an opportunity to find out what's going on at the Chamber of Commerce and why they're members and what we have to contribute to our community.
We spoke with the keeper of the cup, Michael Bolt, to hear what it's like to have this interesting job with the Hockey Hall of Fame.
We basically travel all over the world with the Stanley Cup. Obviously, our current champions are the 2011 Boston Bruins. So we spend a lot of time here in Massachusetts to going all over the world with the organization, from Slovakia, the Czech Republic, Finland, the overseas countries, coast to coast in Canada, coast to coast in the United States.
Bolt travels quite a bit, which can get tiresome, but the excitement that the cup brings to people never gets old in his eyes.
Seeing the reaction, seeing the smiles, seeing the joy it brings to our great fans, and anytime you walk into a room with the Stanley Cup and people get to see it for the first time, I mean, it's a rock star. People treat it and get excited, shriek, and they're excited. And the players and the organizations are the same way. They're so thrilled to have it, of course. They've gotten to their goal of reaching the championship, winning the Stanley Cup, hoisting it over their head. But when they have their day with it, they're as much of a fan as any fan.
Bolt has been the keeper of the cup for 12 years now, and he loves what he does.
Well, I love the game of hockey, and that's first and foremost why I love what I do. To be working in this great game is a thrill and an honor.
After all the commotion ended with the cup, the meeting began. Outgoing Mayor Nancy Stevens thanked the more than 150 business leaders for all the support they had given her over the last 6 years.
Anytime I call and ask for anything, I've never been turned down. Whether we're looking for support for the Labor Day Parade, any of our holiday programs, or anything like that, our Heat and Eat program, I'm amazed at the checks we get in from the businesses within this community. So I want to thank you for your partnership, your friendship, and your support of this city. It has been a phenomenal 6 years, and I'm going to miss you.
Bob Sweeney, now Director of Development for the Boston Bruins Foundation, talked about his journey after growing up in Massachusetts and moving on to play on the team he idolized as a kid.
Fortunate for me, after I did graduate high school and Boston College, I got the opportunity to play for the hometown team. And not too many of our guys, local guys, get to do that.
Sweeney said that after his hockey career, he, like many other retiring hockey players, tried to find a way into the business world.
It's kind of a daunting task when you're a kid for an extra 15 years. So now what are you going to do? You've lived your dream, you've extended that dream, and now you got to go out and take care of your family.
Sweeney's first job was heading up the Boston Bruins alumni before taking on a role in 2007 with the Bruins Foundation. The Bruins Foundation is working to bring a hockey tournament to Marlborough's New England Sports Center next spring to raise money for Children's Hospital Boston.
They have done this tournament in a lot of major Canadian cities, and it's been wildly successful.
Sweeney says he's looking forward to working with Marlborough business leaders to bring what he hopes will become an annual event to the city. According to figures talked about at the Finance Committee meeting on Monday night, the city may end up spending more than $500,000 in overtime by the end of fiscal year 2012. The committee recommended the full City Council approve a $57,264 interdepartmental transfer to cover firefighter overtime costs for the next few months. If approved by City Council, the request marks the 5th time since July the department has requested a transfer. Acting Fire Chief Fred Flynn says for the past 9 weeks, the department has averaged more than $9,600 in overtime each week. The department has been hampered by injuries, retirements, and 1 resignation since the beginning of the fiscal year. Vestas Technology, a wind turbine manufacturer, has made a long-term commitment to Massachusetts by planning to build a 27,000 square foot test and verification facility in Marlborough. On Thursday, Governor Deval Patrick stopped by for a groundbreaking ceremony.
I'm so excited that we have an opportunity here in the city of Marlborough to have a company such as Vestas. Their commitment to the communities that they have facilities in is unprecedented.
Vestas is the world leader in supplying high-tech wind power systems and a preferred provider of wind turbines, services, and solutions in North America. Since 1979, Vestas has supplied more than 44,000 wind turbines in 67 countries. The focus of Vestas will be for the research, development, testing, and verification of electric power generators and converters for next-generation wind turbines. Currently, Vestas employs 16 people at its R&D office at 100 Lock Drive in Marlborough and 18 people at its R&D office in Hudson.
We plan to add at least 60 more employees here over the next several years. And I should point out that those are highly skilled jobs. Like the people in this room, those are highly skilled jobs with engineers and technologists drawing on exactly what brought us to Massachusetts and to Marlborough in the first place.
A 6.7% increase in employment in the first few years. 6.7% was last year's or this year's growth rate, and that is expected to double next year. In the worst economy in living memory.
Vestas sold its first wind turbine in North America in 1981 and since has supplied more than 12,000 turbines to the United States and Canada. Vestas has committed to an estimated capital investment of $16 million, $8 million for building construction, and another $8 million for personal property. Vestas expects to occupy the existing office space at 100 Crowley Drive in early 2012. The 27,000 square foot test center plans to be finished in summer 2012.
This will be the premier development center for high-power electrical machinery in the wind industry.
Speaking of groundbreaking, Marlborough Hospital hopes to raise $1.5 million for the cancer care expansion. Groundbreaking for the new facility is scheduled for early 2012. A capital campaign to raise $1.5 million in support of the construction of a state-of-the-art cancer pavilion at Marlborough Hospital has been announced by Douglas Brown, the hospital's interim president and CEO. The campaign will be led by former chairman of the Marlborough Hospital Board of Trustees, Cornelius Ferris, who is also a former longtime resident of Southborough. The new facility will be attached to the north side of the existing Marlborough Hospital and is also an expansion of the UMass Memorial Healthcare Cancer Center. The new center will provide expanded cancer services to the local community and has an estimated construction cost of $12.7 million. The Cancer Pavilion will be a 15,000 square foot addition that will house cancer care services including medical oncology, radiation oncology, patient exam space, and a beautiful healing garden. Groundbreaking for the new facility is scheduled for early 2012. For more information on how to support this new facility, please call 508-486-5807. The United States Department of Labor announced a $2.3 million national emergency grant to provide reemployment services to about 365 workers affected by layoffs at 12 companies throughout Massachusetts, including businesses in Marlborough. The grant will provide training and supportive services for affected workers. National emergency grants are part of the Secretary of Labor's discretionary fund and are awarded based on a state's ability to meet specific guidelines. The Massachusetts School Building Authority voted on Wednesday to fund part of a set of school renovations in Marlborough. The agency's board of directors voted to grant up to about $33 million to Assabet Valley Regional Technical High School and grant up to $4.4 million to the Marlborough Public Schools for a pair of school projects. Here are more details beginning with Assabet. The Assabet Valley proposal calls for repairs to the school's roof, heating and cooling systems, doors, plumbing, and lighting systems.
It's a $33 million plus change grant from the state. Now what we need to do is get the approval from all 7 of our communities for the other part of the grant.
The money would also help pay for a new safety system and renovations to existing science rooms.
Just got approval yesterday from MSBA for our project, and It involves a lot of repairs to the school, which is close to 40 years old at this time. So I'm going to emphasize some of that and go over the scope of the project.
The MSBA grant would pay for about 53.5% of the total estimated cost of the project, which is about $62 million.
Which sounds so, high, but nonetheless, the building is 400,000 square feet. So it's a very large facility. It's double the size of a comprehensive high school.
In order to receive the MSBA grant, the school must win local approval for funding from the 7 communities and cities from which students attend Assabet Valley. The school is scheduling meetings at the beginning of next month with town and city officials to explain the project in detail.
We're cautiously optimistic that we'll be okay, so I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I did. But.
In the Marlborough Public School system, the MSBA grant approved funding projects at the Kane and High School. The grants, if finalized, will be awarded through the MSBA's Green Repair Program. The high school project calls for a new roof and new windows, doors, and boilers. At the Kane School, new windows and doors are needed to make the building more energy efficient. Both the Kane and High School projects are still subject to local approval. Still to come as we continue with Marlborough this week, one local high school wants to help you prepare for your Thanksgiving holiday this season. But first, the city's Heat and Eat program will continue this Monday morning. That story's next. Please stay with us.
Too much turkey? Can't get off the couch? Then relax and stuff yourself with some football classics. Tune in on Thanksgiving Day when we bring you a marathon of classic Marlborough versus Hudson Turkey Day battles from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s.
EJ Powell, you got a foot race! He's gonna go all the way!
It all starts Thanksgiving morning at 7 a.m. Don't miss it.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. An initiative to help those who are having trouble paying their heating bills this winter started this past Monday. The city's Heat and Eat program, Toll Roads, started bright and early at 7 a.m. If you didn't get a chance to donate this time around, Toll Roads will be happening again this Monday morning at the same time. The mayor, city officials, and volunteers will be collecting until 9 a.m. This year's United Way of Tri-County Hope for the Holidays program will also support the city's Holiday Helper program, which was previously coordinated through the Human Services Department. The United Way Hope for the Holidays program will sponsor those children up to 18 years old that have an existing relationship with the social service providers in Marlborough. The City of Marlborough and the United Way of Tri-County announced this month that the Holiday Helper program will go on, helping Marlborough families this holiday season, despite the city being unable to coordinate the program due to budget concerns.
When the city came to us and asked us to help to transform the Holiday Helper program into almost folded into the United Way's Hope for the Holiday program, we are really excited to continue to support as many families as we can in Marlborough.
The program will continue under the support of the United Way's Metro West program, Hope for the Holidays.
Because we had limited resources this year, we really wanted to focus just on children, and Hope for the Holidays in the past has helped families in the form of gift cards for food, and so what we're trying to do this year is make sure that we have enough toys and gifts to provide for children.
Both programs focus on supplying gifts, clothing, and food for thousands of children and families in the immediate area.
We are connecting children that have had relationships with social service providers in the area. And we do that because social service providers have the relationship with these families, and they really understand the need of the residents in Marlborough. So they are the ones that can verify that need, and they are the ones that are providing us the names of the most needy families so that they can get gifts for the holidays.
In 2010, Hope for the Holidays aided more than 1,700 people in the region.
It's more that we're giving, and it's more that we need in the form of volunteerism, in the form of gifts that you can sponsor a child and help us that way too.
Those interested in supporting a child or volunteering their time this year are asked to call Barbara LaGrenade at 508-370-4873. All donations will be used to help Marlborough children.
If you don't have the time to go and make the selections yourself, then we can help you to do that as well. So there are multiple ways that you can get involved.
For the 5th year in a row, the Thanksgiving holiday will be made just a little bit sweeter for those who choose to let the culinary arts students and staff at Assabet Valley do the baking for them. The bake sale will take place this Tuesday. Here's Caitlin O'Brien with more.
This will be our 5th year doing this, and we hope and we think that we're getting a little bit better at it.
The 5th annual bake sale at Assabet Valley High School will take place this Tuesday, November 22nd, from 9 to 1 p.m. at the school's student-run restaurant. Chef Wilson stated that preparation begins weeks before the sale, which residents look forward to each and every year.
I don't know if we could even walk away from it right now if we tried without disappointing some people, and we have no intentions of doing that.
In order to prepare for this giant bake sale, staff and students take a look back at last year's sale, which helps them determine what to make this year. One of their biggest sellers is pie.
I think last year we did over 500, I think maybe close to 600. And then we have a big order for pies already, so we knew to increase that to about 700 this year.
In the past years, certain items run out fast.
This year we hope not to do that, especially on things like the cannolis and eclairs. We actually made a whole lot more this year than we have in the past. Those things go really fast.
Students not only bake the goods, but work the sale too, which makes it a good learning experience for all involved.
We have some people who already know what jobs they want, what they're comfortable with, and they just go right to that. From like, if they're strong in making pie dough, then they go to the pie dough.
The bake sale takes place from 9 to 1 p.m. or when the goodies are gone.
We just open up our Epicurean restaurant, we remove everything out, and we set it up as if it's one gigantic bake shop. And we break things up into areas, different areas, from pastries to cakes, and it makes it easy for you to flow around.
The money raised goes directly back to the students.
We have a fund that is managed by a county very closely. We have different accounts here that is again, run by a financial department.
When tips are given, they are pooled together to help students in a variety of ways.
That could be for uniforms, it could be for some educational materials, some field trips that are related to the industry.
For Marlborough This Week, I'm Caitlin O'Brien.
Coming up next, details about the Festival of Trees. The Panthers are preparing for their big game against Hudson. We met up with them at practice earlier this week. Plus, we'll have your pet of the week. Don't move. We'll be right back.
Too much turkey? Can't get off the couch? Then relax and stuff yourself with some football classics. Tune in on Thanksgiving Day when we bring you a marathon of classic Marlborough versus Hudson Turkey Day battles from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s.
EJ Powell, you got a foot race! He's gonna go all the way!
It all starts Thanksgiving morning at 7 a.m. Don't miss it.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. The annual Festival of Trees will take place on November 25th through the 27th and December 2nd through the 4th at the Greek Orthodox Church's new function hall in Cashman Street this year. Here are more details. The 4th Festival of Trees will feature over 60 decorated trees, Santa's workshop, Candyland, holiday decorations, miniature Victorian villages and train displays, entertainment, a visit with Santa Claus, crafters, and animated displays from Edaville, USA, a Christmas festival of lights. The trees will be displayed for 2 weekends, 6 days total, and viewed by thousands of people. In 2010, the event had 67 trees and 3,514 people visit from 62 different communities and 4 states. Awards will be presented for outstanding trees in different categories. All of the decorated trees will be raffled off to raise funds for historic preservation and protecting the assets of our community.
The Marlborough girls volleyball team will be playing for the Division II state championship this weekend. The Panthers are 24-0, and Coach Peter Lepre says what impresses him the most is that the team continues to improve every game.
Well, right now we just have seemed to get better right from game one. First couple games, we had an important piece out of the pitcher. She was hurt, Laura Silverman. She came back, and like I said, every game we're just getting better, especially come tournament-wise. We've beaten 4 real good teams so far, 4 real good teams. And the last one, I'm not sure we could have played better.
Senior Laura Silverman believes the depth of this Panther squad has been the key to their success.
We don't have any holes, first of all. We don't have any holes anywhere on the court. We have every position covered. A good volleyball team, at least in my opinion, is when everybody has a job and everybody does their job. And we're a team where everybody does their job every single game. And, you know, we don't have people trying to do something else or doing silly things that they shouldn't be doing. Everybody does their job, and we get what we need to get done.
In addition to raw talent, team chemistry plays an important part on any successful team, and there is no lack of chemistry here.
We just all are really united as a team. We come together after every game, and at practice we really just all love to be here, love to be together, and it's really, we've grown very close, and I think that helps us on the court because we all trust each other enough to get every single ball, and we know that we can count on each other.
It's been an amazing season. We've all really gotten closer towards the end of the season as a team. I think we all really connected with each other and really pulled together to make all these wins happen.
With some question marks and injuries at the beginning of the year, it was hard to predict how this team would do. But here they are, 1 win away from a state championship.
I'm so proud of the team. Like, we've just improved so much over the season. Like, you can just tell everybody, touching the ball every day has just been so great for us. Like, you know, at the beginning of the season, we didn't really know like where we'd end up at the end, but now, you know, we're at the last game of the season for everybody, so it's great.
Coach Lepre has the scouting report.
We've played Melrose, who I believe right now is 20-2. We saw them play the other night. They're very good. They play a different type of ball. We're a team that really comes out after you. We get a good setup, good pass up to Taylor. She's going to give it to somebody, and we're going to pound the ball. Most of the coaches told me they thought the team we played last night, Fairhaven, was the best team in Division II. We beat them pretty bad. They just never saw anything like us. Actually, I haven't seen anything like us the way we're playing for a while, so.
To say these girls are excited might be the understatement of the year.
I'm so pumped right now to play. Like, I just want it to come right now. Like, I'm sitting at school all day so distracted, like thinking about the game on Saturday. So, and everybody else is the same way. So that's going to bode really well for us, I think, the fact that everybody is so excited for this game.
But it's just nice to know that the whole city's behind us and everybody's rooting for us and supporting us. And a little nervous, but in a good way. I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. So.
The game will be played Saturday at 2:30 at Algonquin High School in Northborough. Best of luck to the team. It's that time of year, and what would be Thanksgiving around here without turkey, stuffing, and Marlborough versus Hudson football? This year's game is shaping up to be another classic. The Panthers are 6-4, but had some tough losses to powerhouses Leominster and BC High. Hudson is 8-2 and expected to be a pretty tough opponent.
Hudson's very good. Excellent skill players, good linemen. They are a talented team. You know, they're better than they were last year, and they beat us last year. So, you know, we're, I think, going in as the underdog, and that's okay with us because now we get a chance to end our season on a high note.
This year's game is even more meaningful for Marlborough because if they win and a couple of other schools lose, the Panthers will be in the postseason. And for these seniors, nothing on the schedule beats the Thanksgiving Day game.
It's always just been the biggest game in my life. It's always against Hudson every year, last game of the regular season. We go in it, you know, you want to win it. They're our rivals since birth, basically. You know, just going out trying to fight them, prove who's the better town.
Everyone's coming home from college. It's the biggest game in town. Everyone's going to be there. Playoff atmosphere. It's just a great game to be a part of.
The Turkey Day game will be bittersweet for some of the seniors who may never wear the Panther uniform again.
And I miss playing with my teammates, the coaches here, the great coaches, and it's a family here. I'm going to miss everything about it.
Most of all, my family, all my brothers. I love everyone on this team. Just coming out on Friday nights, probably the greatest feeling you can have. So if I get to play, if I'm lucky enough to play in college, it's not going to compare to how my high school year was.
But Coach Mahoney is staying positive and feels his team has a great chance to pull off an upset and win this game.
We had won 4 straight, and we did not win last year, so we hope to get back on track.
The Marlborough-Hudson Thanksgiving game has been a tradition for more than 100 years now, but for the first time in almost 2 decades, the Marlborough Middle School will be fielding a team in the not-so-famous Chicken Bowl. With 7th and 8th graders back in the same building, they are able to field a team of 35 players and will be playing Hudson this weekend. Head coach Dan Radzinski says the kids couldn't be more excited.
That's one of the cooler things, is Hudson obviously is the game we've been selling all year. So, you get to, that's why you want to play Panthers instead of the Pop Warner team, because you get to play in the Thanksgiving Day week. And you could hear at the end of the last game, we had the chant going. I mean, the game has been, we have our schedule on the board in the locker room, and it's been circled and starred, and they know. And this is, I mean, being a Marlborough guy, I mean, one of the things we told you can go 0-10, but if you beat Hudson, it's a good year.
This game will mark the end of a very successful season. The middle school Panthers are 6-1-1 going into this game, but Coach Radzinski is most impressed with the commitment these kids have made.
Everybody's made it through the season. Not one person has quit. Not one person has decided it wasn't for them. But it's been pretty cool to have the same amount of kids come out, even this last week of the season.
And for these players, playing Hudson to wrap up the year will be the highlight of their young careers.
It means a lot to me because growing up in 3rd grade, I always used to hear about Hudson, Marlborough winning, Marlborough winning. I've always wanted to play Hudson. 4th grade, we played them. I don't think we've played them ever since, except for last year. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I played with a kid, Rocco Malloy, in 4th grade that plays for Hudson now.
A rivalry means a lot. It's like seeing the high school games and how they played together. And I just love the intensity how they play.
The Hudson rivalry means a lot to me because my brother's a senior. He's taught me about it ever since I've been 5 years old, and it's going to be an intense game, and it's fun because it's been going on for so long.
So after a long absence, middle schoolers from Marlborough and Hudson will once again meet on the frozen tundra of Kelleher Field on what is sure to become an annual tradition.
1, 2, 3, Beyonce!
Today we have Buddy, and Buddy is a purebred Shih Tzu. He's about 7 years old. He's a neutered male. He is a great little dog if you're a lady, but fellows want to stay away from Buddy because he doesn't like men too much. He's a great companion. He doesn't shed. He's housebroken, and that's really his only little quirk, is that he prefers to be in an all-female home. So if you'd like to know more about Buddy or come and meet him and spend some time with him, please call us at Buddy Dog. The number is 978-443-6990.
Before we go, don't forget that you can find all of the information you need on our Facebook page. Just search WMCT-TV and become a fan. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Coming up right now in Marlborough This Week, the city's Heat and Eat program will once again help residents this winter season. The City of Marlborough's Geographic Information System program is pleased to announce the launch of an interactive mapping application, plus Hannaford Supermarkets granted the Richer School the opportunity to experience an award-winning nutrition theater show. Those stories and more are coming up right now on Marlborough This Week. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin with this week's top story. Caitlin O'Brien begins our coverage.
The Heat and Eat toll roads were held this month to help raise money for the Mayor's Charity Relief Fund.
This is something we did a couple of years ago, that we came up with a program to help our residents with food assistance and fuel assistance in the winter.
With fuel assistance programs being cut at the federal level, local families are not receiving the funds they need to survive during the winter months.
This time of year is the time of year when people really feel the need for food and fuel money the most. People are making decisions every day about whether to buy fuel oil, whether to turn their thermostat up, or to eat and provide nutritious food for their family.
Back in 2008, the Heat and Eat program raised $5,000 for local families by conducting toll roads around the Main Street area.
I was surprised that people were throwing 20s out. It was great. I mean, people that didn't know about it were grabbing, didn't have money, but were grabbing. We all have the change in cup in our car. We're just dumping that because they're like, I don't have any money. A lot of times in the morning you're heading to work, you go to the bank at lunchtime or something like that, and especially after a weekend, people don't really have a lot of money on Monday morning. So they were being very generous.
Even though the fundraising initiative has not been held for the past few years, money has been donated during this time.
We always get donations, and people throughout the year. We have churches that do it as part of their giving projects at the holidays and things like that. So we've gotten it, but decided to resurrect the toll road and the formal program this year. Even though we didn't have a formal program the last couple of years, people still sent us money for the program. It still came in for food and fuel assistance. But we just thought that given the cuts in the fuel assistance program, that it was probably better to get the word out and really get a lot more donations this year.
Money from the Mayor's Charity Relief Fund help those make decisions on a daily basis that affect their families.
Families are more and more buying less and less of fresh fruits and vegetables. Those things are expensive now, and during the winter they get more and more expensive, and those are really the nutritious foods they need for themselves and for their children. And it's tough because they have to choose between staying warm and eating. It's literally something that most of the families in Marlborough have to think about a little bit with such a cold winter coming on.
Stevens remarked that when there is a need in the city, residents come together to help each other.
One of the things I've always been so proud about is this community comes together and helps each other. And I'm asking the community to come together once again and really help our neighbors. It's going to be a tough winter.
If you didn't get a chance to donate money to this month's Heat and Eat program, you can still send checks to the Mayor's office located at City Hall, 140 Main Street. For Marlborough This Week, I'm Caitlin O'Brien.
Another way the city is always given to those who need help during the winter and holiday season is through the Holiday Helper Program. The program, which was previously coordinated through the Human Services Department, will now be supported by the United Way of Tri-County. The City of Marlborough and the United Way of Tri-County announced this month that the Holiday Helper Program will go on, helping Marlborough families this holiday season, despite the city being unable to coordinate the program due to budget concerns.
When the city came to us and asked us to help to transform the Holiday Helper Program into almost folded into the United Way's Hope for the Holiday program, we were really excited to continue to support as many families as we can in Marlborough.
The program will continue under the support of the United Way's Metro West program, Hope for the Holidays.
Because we had limited resources this year, we really wanted to focus just on children, and Hope for the Holidays in the past has helped families in the form of gift cards for food, and so what we're trying to do this year is make sure that we have enough toys and gifts to provide for children.
Both programs focus on supplying gifts, clothing, and food for thousands of children and families in the immediate area.
We are connecting children that have had relationships with social service providers in the area. And we do that because social service providers have the relationship with these families, and they really understand the need of the residents in Marlborough. So they are the ones that can verify that need, and they are the ones that are providing us the names of the most needy families so that they can get gifts for the holidays.
In 2010, Hope for the Holidays aided more than 1,700 people in the region.
It's more that we're giving, and it's more that we need in the form of volunteerism, in the form of gifts that you can sponsor a child and help us that way too.
Those interested in supporting a child or volunteering their time this year are asked to call Barbara LaGrenade at 508-370-4873. All donations will be used to help Marlborough children.
If you don't have the time to go and make the selections yourself, then we can help you to do that as well. So there are multiple ways that you can get involved.
The City of Marlborough's Geographic Information System program is pleased to announce the launch of its interactive public information mapping application. The website offers unique features and functions that allow users to access maps and property information using the City of Marlborough's GIS map data. Visitors to the site will have access to maps that show city parcels, wetlands, and roads, as well as zoning and assessment data. For more information, please visit Marlborough-ma.gov. At this week's school committee meeting, it was all about recognizing the hardworking students and teachers of our district. The meeting Tuesday night kicked off with congratulating the high school girls volleyball team.
We recognize tonight our Marlborough High School girls volleyball team, who are now state champions.
Each one of the team members came in front of the committee and said who they are and what position they played.
I'm Laura Silverman, and I'm a senior middle hitter. I'm Melissa Scott. I'm a senior outside hitter.
Peter Leppery, the girls' volleyball coach, is pleased with how the season turned out.
Oh, God, it was so exciting. I still haven't got over it. I've coached a lot of teams that have won a lot of games. I've had a lot of very, very good players. And this was the most exciting bunch.
Then it was on to the state's John and Abigail Adams scholarships, which have been awarded to 59 Marlborough High School seniors. Marlborough High School Principal Deb Roy read each and every name to the committee.
The scholarship is earned during your sophomore year based on your MCAS scores in your sophomore year, so please work hard, try your best, because this scholarship entitles you to receive 4 years of free tuition at any University of Massachusetts campus or any state or community college. So it's a great benefit for working hard.
Then it was on to the music department's recent winners of the Central District Music Festival. Music director Jonathan Rosenthal spoke to members.
We are fortunate to have students have this opportunity. And being involved at the state level, I know that we have 150 different school districts in our central district. And many school systems are happy if we get 5 or 6 or 7 students that make it into districts. Well, we have 25.
Last but not least, the Marlborough Education Foundation announced the recipients of the 2011 and 2012 grant awards. Cindy Brown, the Marlborough Education Foundation president, presented the grant awards to all of the winning teachers. To continue with our schools and students, Hannaford Supermarkets granted the Richer School the opportunity to experience an award-winning nutrition theater show last week. Here's a sneak peek into Food Play. Food Play, a national award-winning nutrition theater show, brings a cast of colorful characters, amazing feats of juggling, hip-hop music, and audience participation to turn kids onto healthy eating and active lifestyles. With its traveling theater shows and media campaigns, Food Play Productions has been using the power of live theater to promote healthy eating and exercise habits to the nation's youth for over 25 years. Founded in 1982 by Emmy Award-winning nutritionist Barbara Storper, a leader in the field of children's nutrition, Food Play Productions has spread its message of good health to over 4 million school children across the country.
She really got into the minds of how children think, and she goes to shows, and she's been going to shows, and she asks feedback. And what Food Play is that it's an interactive way. They juggle, and they teach them. There are statistics that are in the show that are researched and pulled from things like the FDA.
Food Play makes good eating fun, but its messages are serious.
The decisions that they make now will affect the rest of their lives. I know personally that from my perspective, my mother raised me on a diet of vegetables and things like that, and I have never had a dislike of vegetables. So we think now is the time to cut them off at the pass, as it were.
Hannaford Supermarkets is once again leading community health and wellness initiatives. Now in its 6th year of providing innovative nutrition education program for schools, and its 4th year of the Guiding Stars Nutrition Rating Program, Hannaford is already making a difference in the health and wellness of their community's children and families.
They sent us 2 schools. And Hannaford is a great partner to have because they also are a supermarket that focuses on healthier eating.
As the food play performance unfolds, children learn how to decipher food labels, see through TV advertising, and make sense of today's confusing fast food world.
Coach, who you'll meet later on, is a fabulous model for children because he's sort of the cool guy that everyone wants to know. Then we have Janie, which is the learning model, and Janie is sort of every kid is what we think. That's how we look at it, is Janie is everyone. And we all want to learn with Janie.
They learn how to make healthy food choices at home, at school, and on the run, and discover that choosing fresh foods is good for their health and for the health of the planet. Kids witness the 10 teaspoons of sugar found in a can of cola and learn that on average, they each consume over 50 pounds of sugar a year from soda alone.
The response is always monumental, it's epic, and I mean, the only word I really have is it's food play. It's fun, it's food, it's really a great way to learn about healthy eating.
According to U.S. Department of Agriculture sponsored evaluations, food play has been shown to dramatically improve children's eating and exercise habits.
We have kids come up to us at the end of every show saying, I'm not going to drink soda anymore, or I'm going to have vegetables tonight.
For fun food tips, activities, and free nutrition handouts, please visit foodplay.com. Still to come as we continue with Marlborough this week, the Marlborough Historical Society wants to help you kick off your holiday season. But first, details for the Home for the Holidays event at Union Common were released on Monday morning. That story's next. Please stay with us.
Happy holidays. This is Firefighter Mark with some holiday fire safety tips for you. Before stringing your lights, you should always check for any frayed wiring or broken bulbs. You should never use a household extension cord for outdoor lighting. Always use a heavier gauge extension cord. Keep your household pets away from any wiring. You should never place your candles near anything that can catch on fire. You should never overload your outlets with too many plugs. Make sure you properly water your tree. A dry tree can cause fires. On behalf of the Marlborough Fire Department, we would like to wish you all a happy and safe holiday season.
Welcome back to Marlborough this week. Details for the Home for the Holidays event at Union Common were released on Monday morning, including details about the city's Santa mailboxes. Here's the press conference that took place.
I am so pleased to be here today to kick off the 2011 Home for the Holidays here in the city of Marlborough. We are going to be having our Home for the Holidays celebration on Friday, December 2nd from 6 to 8 in Union Common. As you know, the highlight is Santa arriving on a fire truck. Santa, Mrs. Claus, and myself will be arriving about 6:15 on Union Common, and we will be joined by the Marlborough High School Combined Chorus, who will be singing some wonderful holiday songs for us. After that, at 6:45, the Marlborough High School String Ensemble will have a performance at the First Congregational Church on Union Common, and at 7:30, the Marlborough High School Jazz Band will be playing again in the church. Santa and Mrs. Claus will be there. We will have balloons, barn animals, hot chocolate, cotton candy, and popcorn. It's a wonderful event, and I really look forward to seeing you all there. And don't forget, we'll be lighting our wonderful Christmas tree in the Common. And part of our holiday celebration is one of my favorite things, and you see right here next to me are the Santa mailboxes. Once again, I'm joined by the Postmaster for the City of Marlborough, Nick Salikas, who's going to talk to us about the Santa mailboxes and the stamps for the holiday season. Hi, Nick. Great to have you.
Thank you again. Good morning, everyone. As usual, we have 3 Santa boxes out in the city of Marlborough this year. We'll have one in front of the post office, one in front of City Hall, and one in front of the Senior Center. So we encourage all the children to write their letters to Santa Claus, get them in as early as they can so we can deliver them to Santa. This year we have 2 new stamps. We have the Holiday Baubles, and we have the Madonna and Child, and we have the Kwanzaa, the Eid, and the Hanukkah stamps. And the cutoff dates for our international mailing, so if you want to get the packages to the soldiers, if you want to send a priority mail, December 10th will be the cutoff this year, and if you want to send it express mail, it'll be December 17th. And if you want to mail internationally, because we do have a lot of people that mail international packages, December 2nd through the 9th will be the cutoff for priority mail. and express mail will be December 20th. Again, we encourage all the children, write your letters to Santa as quickly as possible so he can respond back to you. Thanks again, Mayor. I appreciate all your help in these events.
Thank you, Nick. And I do have the first letter. I'm just going
Excellent.
to be a big kid this year, and I'd like to mail my letter to Santa, be the first one in the mailbox. So I encourage all of the kids in the city to write your letters to Santa. I know my wishes are going to come true. Have a great holiday season. We look forward to seeing you on Friday, December 2nd from 6 to 8 in the Union Common for our 2011 Home for the Holidays celebration.
The Marlborough Historical Society wants to help you kick off your holiday season with their annual holiday event, the Festival of Trees. We met with Bob Kane, the curator at the Marlborough Historical Society, to learn more.
We'll have like approximately 60 to 70 trees and wreaths and so forth that are decorated by various sponsors, and a lot of them by the Historic Society.
The fourth Festival of Trees will feature over 60 decorated trees, Santa's workshop, Candyland, holiday decorations, miniature Victorian villages and train displays, entertainment, a visit with Santa Claus, crafters, and animated displays from Edaville, USA, a Christmas festival of lights. The trees will be displayed for 2 weekends, 6 days total, and viewed by thousands of people.
Trees are done beautifully, and a lot of trees have gifts with them and so forth. And you can come and just pay admission, come in and walk around and see everything, or you can pay to come in, and then if you want to take chances on winning trees, buy raffle tickets.
In 2010, the event had 67 trees and 3,514 people visit from 62 different communities and 4 states.
The big change this year is that we had to move from where we've been in the past because we keep getting bigger and bigger and better. And last year we were down across the street from our homestead, the Peter Rice Homestead, so we had a few trees there, and we were able to, John Del Pascoli owned the building across the street, let us use that space, which was great. However, this year he's rented out the space. We've been hunting high and low, and we were fortunate to find the Greek Church had built a brand new social hall here on Cashman Street in downtown Marlborough.
Awards will be presented for outstanding trees in different categories. All of the decorated trees will be raffled off to raise funds for historic preservation and protecting the assets of our community.
There's not many fundraisers that money go towards protecting the assets of the city or educating the citizens of the city about their heritage, their history, and so forth of the city. And we try to do that.
Now, if you're sitting at home thinking you'd like to take a peek at the Festival of Trees, you'll have several opportunities to do so. Saturday, November 26th from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., Sunday the 27th from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., and then the following weekend as well on Friday, December 2nd, 5 to 9 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., and ending with Sunday from 1 to 6 p.m. Coming up next, details regarding the city's winter parking ban, plus we'll have your Pet of the Week. Don't move. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. We just want to inform you that the city's overnight parking ban goes into effect on December 1st and will continue through March 15th. During that period, on-street parking is prohibited from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. every night. Vehicles violating the ban are subject to a $10 penalty. Additionally, vehicles that interfere with snow or ice removal operations are subject to towing and storage at the owner's expense.
Today we have Sailor, and Sailor is an active fellow, and he's good with other cats and very, very friendly. He was actually living outside an apartment complex without a home, and a nice woman took pity on him and brought him here to us, and he's going to make somebody a great family pet. He's about a year old, neutered male, up to date on all his shots, and if you'd like to see Sailor or find out more about him, please feel free to call us at Buddy Dog. The number is 978-443-6990.
And before we go, don't forget that you can find all the information you need on our Facebook page. Just search WMCT-TV and become a fan. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.